Hello and welcome to Mark Goldbridge, That's Football. It's Liverpool's visit to Wolves in their Premier League. It's Monday Night Football. It's 8 o'clock kickoff. And this is, in my opinion, Liverpool's last chance at getting top four. Some would say it's a slim chance anyway. I think they do have a chance, but I think they've got to win today. If they don't win today, I think top four for teams such as Manchester United and Chelsea and Leicester and others is looking very, very good indeed. Good evening. I hope you're doing very well. I'm excited about this one. I think there's a lot on it, and yeah, I do. I do think there is a lot on it, and I think that I don't think Liverpool will win the Champions League. I'm not saying they can't win the Champions League. I've seen Liverpool win the bloody Champions League when they shouldn't win the Champions League. I've seen them nearly do it again against Milan in 2007 as well. So of course, only a fool would write Liverpool off. But I don't think they will win the Champions League. I think they're probably fourth favourites to win it, behind PSG, Manchester City and Bayern Munich. So I don't think they will win the Champions League. And if they want to be in the Champions League next year, which Liverpool have to be as winners and title holders, currently title holders of the Premier League, not for much longer, and also they won the Champions League the year before last, I think that they would expect to be in the Champions League, and they will be in the Europa League with Arsenal next year if they're not very careful. So anyway, let's go through the team news. Rui Patricio in goal for Wolves, Bolly, Cody and Sace as their three centre-backs, Nelson Semedo and Otto as their full-backs, Neves and Moutinho centre-backs, Neto, Traore and De Silva as their front three. Massive underachievers this season, Wolves. I mean, really, I've almost forgotten about Wolves. 35 points, not going to be going down, but you'd expect Wolves to be a lot higher in the league than they have been. Really missed Raul Jimenez. As for Liverpool, they've got Alisson, Alexander-Arnold, Captain Phillips, Kabak, Robertson, Thiago, Fabinho, Wijnaldum, Salah, Jota and Mane, with Firmino obviously not fit for this game for Liverpool. So they've got Milner, Keita, Adrian, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Jones, Tsimikas, Shaqiri, Williams and Williams on the bench. Not much on the bench for Liverpool, to be honest with you. They do still have injury problems, but I think that they are helped by the fact that they've got Fabinho in the midfield. My score prediction for this game, I'm going to say, I actually fancy Liverpool to win 2-0 if I'm honest with you. Yeah, I'm going to call him Tom Hanks at centre-back for Liverpool. But yeah, I do. I think Liverpool have to win this, and that's something I did want to just read out as well. If you look at the Premier League table, how it is at the moment, Manchester United Liverpool, forget Wolves. They're not doing anything. They're not going to be in Europe next year. They're not. I don't think they're in any trophies. So their season's basically over. They're going to be on the beach very, very soon. It's about trying to finish as high as they can. They could get as high as 11th, but you know they're 6 points off Arsenal, and they've played a lot of games, Wolves. So their season's pretty much done and dusted. But Liverpool are currently in 8th place. They've got 43 points now. They are 2 points behind Spurs, having played the same amount of games. They are 3 points behind Everton, having played the same amount of games. So 6th place for Liverpool is achievable. Could they get 5th place? Well, they are currently 5 points behind West Ham, having played the same amount of games. And they are currently Chelsea in 4th place, are 8 points ahead of them, but they've played a game less. So if Liverpool were to win today, they could get 5 points behind Chelsea. That is what they've got to be looking at. As for Leicester and Manchester United, well, Leicester are 13 points ahead of Liverpool and Manchester United are 14 points ahead of Liverpool. So even if they manage to win, it's a big, big stretch, isn't it, to do that? So let's see. Liverpool, as I said, if Liverpool want to get top four, they've got to start winning today. They've got to start winning today. 2-0 to Wolves, says Ryan Anthony Holland. 2-1 to Wolves, says Fizzle. And they did lose to Fulham, Liverpool, but they've done well in the Champions League against Leipzig, haven't they? So I feel this is Liverpool's last chance saloon to get into the Champions League. I don't think they'll win the Champions League, and I think if they want to get top four, they're going to have to start winning. Unfortunately for Liverpool, they're chasing down Chelsea, who I think if they were chasing United and Leicester down, I think they'd have a better chance. But they're chasing down Chelsea, who have been ridiculously consistent since Tuchel came in. Do you think Spurs could get top four, and your reason? Says Vade, no. And my reason is they're not good enough. Yeah. Spurs have just dropped so many points this season. I mean, I said it before their game against Arsenal. I couldn't believe that Spurs were actually back in a top four race again. They've been so poor this season at dropping points. So I do not see them as a team that can get in the top 4 race. And I think realistically for Spurs and Arsenal, they're 2 teams going for one prize, and that's the Europa League, which will get them into the Champions League. Of course, Mourinho's won it before. Mourinho's won the Europa League before with Manchester United and got us into the Champions League, and we didn't finish in the top 4, so it can have. How do I make sure I get 8 hours of sleep every night, says Abhijit? Maybe watch Arsenal play. No, Arsenal aren't that bad really. Maybe watch Mourinho's team play, actually. I missed a trick there. If you want to get to sleep, watch Tottenham play. They are dull as ditch water, really are. I think Mourinho's done, really. I've said it so many times before. I was ultra unimpressed yesterday. When the team news came through, I was like, ooh, that's a good team from Spurs. That's an attacking team. He's got Ndembele in the pivot. He's got Moura, Bale, Son, Kane. He's not playing Eric Dyer at centre-back. He's got Reguilon at full-back and Doherty at full-back, who are both good going forward. What happens? They play absolutely shite. So, yeah, I don't think that... I don't rate what they've done at all. And I don't rate what Mourinho's done at all. Do you think Man United will win the league within the next 3 seasons, Dylan? No, not really. I think, as things stand, you've got to say Manchester City look very good. Indeed. Mark, what's your favourite phrase? Says Gaming Charlie. Probably get in, because I'm normally saying that when I'm happy. Oh, that's just not one. Even I thought what that could mean there. I meant like when I'm playing football, or when I'm watching football, or when I'm playing FIFA. I'm not in the bedroom going, get in, get in, get in. Although, to be honest with you, that's probably, if you struggle to get it in, that probably means that you've got a good problem, really. Which I refuse. I'm digging a hole again, but yeah, I like that. I like that one. Anyway, so let's get this match on the road, so to speak. Where is it? I think it's on Sky, isn't it? It is. It's Monday Night Football on Sky. Let's get it on. Let's get it on. You know, when I was younger, we used to have this dog, right? Really happy-go-lucky dog. Probably dead now, because it was like 20 years ago. And it wasn't my dog. It was a dog of somebody I used to live with. And it was a really nice dog. Used to take it for a walk down on the beach and everything like that. Always happy dog it was. And then if you said let's get it on, it shit itself. Not literally. I wouldn't want a dog to be crapping itself, but it just used to go out the room. Well, when you've got that power, Dr. Dolittle might be able to talk to the animals, but I can make a very happy-go-lucky dog walk out of a room. And I'm not bloody Paul Daniels, or if anyone, or what's his name, David Blaine, or any other magician. But it was just, I just used to go, let's get it on. And it'd get up and walk out. Hated it. Terrified of me saying, let's get it on. Which again could be taken the wrong way. Nothing between me and the dog ever happened. I'm digging holes tonight. It just didn't like the deep voice. I think that's what it was. I don't know whether... Where does the saying "let's get it on" come from? Maybe they'd had a bad experience with that dog. I don't know. Troops wouldn't last 5 seconds in a fight with you, says Dylan Hanafi. The game is about to kick off, and let's get it on. Traore's there with his abs pumped up and oiled as per ever, and it's a song by Marvin Gaye. Thank you very much, and that was his name. Come on the Wolves, says Pedro. Let's get that timer started. There it is. And dogging, Sam Ameson's, you obviously like dogging. I don't think you understand what dogging is. Dogging hasn't got anything to do with a dog. So, yeah, dogging is where people go and have sex in a car, and then people stand around the car like a drive-in cinema, and watch people doing things in the car whilst doing things to themselves. Anyway, we've digressed. We're meant to be doing a watch-along here. Monday Night Football. Yeah, you don't get this on Sky. Carragher and Neville don't talk about this sort of stuff. which is good. You know, we offer something different. Predictions for the game, Mark, first goal scorer. Well, it's got to be a penalty, ref. What? Why is it not a penalty? Surely Alisson takes him out there. He drops the ball and then he takes the Wolves player out who's about to score. I thought that was a penalty. Referee. Come on. That looked like a penalty to me for Wolves. What are we thinking in the live comments? How is that not a penalty, says Broken Cornflakes. That's a penalty, that is. That is a penalty, surely. They'll stick with the bloody ref. Let's watch it back. Alisson drops the catch, goes after the ball. Oh my God, it's such a penalty. He absolutely clatters him. He drops the ball, he goes to get it. The Wolves player knocks it past him and then he knocks the Wolves player out. I tell you what, if that's at the other end, it's a penalty. That's a penalty, that is, for me. Can't believe it. It's not gone to VAR, no. Well, it's never going to go to VAR, is it? Because the rule is it has to be a clear and obvious error by the referee. He's seen the incident and said it's not a penalty, so it won't become a penalty. But I think that's a penalty for me. I've been having a bit of a down day, but you've never failed to make me laugh, says Tyron. Good, Tyron. Good to hear. Who's the ref? Says Aidan. Prattface, I think. Do you think City can win a treble in the next few years if they don't win one this season, Mark? Hope not, Gideon. Don't bring my mood down. So yeah, if you didn't see it, Alisson goes to catch the ball, he drops it, the Wolves player knocks it away, and his momentum, Alisson goes straight into the Wolves player and knocks him out. If he doesn't touch the Wolves player, I think the Wolves player scores. That's the problem. I'm sure Liverpool fans would say it's not a penalty, but the point is, if Alisson doesn't take him out, he scores a goal. So where's the advantage for Wolves? Skippy says tonight we're going to make our move. He's a Liverpool fan. You've got to. And Kieran says, I hope you're doing well. What's your thoughts on Chelsea at the moment? I think they've had a couple of disappointing draws. At the weekend they drew, obviously, against Leeds, which is, a 0-0 draw against Leeds is very surprising. And they had that draw against Southampton a couple of weeks ago. So they've probably dropped 4 points that they probably shouldn't have done. But they're unbeaten. And I'm looking forward to Chelsea beating Atletico Madrid on Wednesday, actually. I don't normally support the English team in Europe. But I've got a bit of a battle going on with these La Liga fans from Stockport and Stoke. And is Adama Traore. Lay him in. Have a shot. Get a shot off. Oh, good save by Alisson. Wolves looking good here. Wolves looking good. They got pace on the break, and that Liverpool defence looks shaken Stevens. Yeah, so I want Chelsea to win on Wednesday. I want them to beat the best team in Spain, which is Atletico Madrid. And I want them to do it. It would have been offside anyway. And I want them to do it, and they're in 4th place. So, yeah, I do want them to win. It's on Sky Sports 1, this is. Do I think Chelsea can win the Champions League, says Cristiano? I think they've probably got about as much. I think they've got a better chance than Liverpool. And I think Liverpool could win it. I don't think they're anywhere near favourites to win it. But, yeah. Are you doing a pudding for the next Cooking with Goldbridge? Oh, thank you, Tushar. You're a star, Tushar. I put it out on Twitter today. The next Cooking for Goldbridge, you can find out. You can watch last week's one if you want to. It was a lovely cooked breakfast. Still getting views on it. It's had 120,000 views, which is amazing for a cooked breakfast. We're doing a pudding this week. I've never done a pudding on Cooking with Goldbridge, and we're going for a pudding. People have been voting on Twitter. The top 3 pudding choices at the moment are sticky toffee pudding, apple crumble and custard, cheesecake. They're the top 3 at the moment. They're smashing it on Twitter. So get in the live comments on what you would like. Mark, can you say hello to my mate iMac, says Dylan. Yeah, I'm not an idiot, Dylan. You know, I'm not Robbie. And I'm not one of those people who do it on purpose because they want to get clipped up. I read what people ask me to say about their mates. So I'm not going to read out. I read it in my head before I read it out, Dylan, basically. I've got a brain. That's what I'm trying to say. The live comments is full of sticky toffee pudding. Mark, have you ever watched The Wire? Says Aaron Brothers. No, but if you want a tip for a series, this has been my... I know 2021's not that old, but this is my... series of 2021. It's going to be hard to top. I think it's been absolute. I've watched it. It's brilliant. You can get it on BBC iPlayer. It actually came out on AMC 3 years ago, and I saw the advert for it, and I wanted to watch it, but I didn't have that channel that it was on. And it's called The Terror, and it's on BBC iPlayer at the moment, or it's on every Wednesday night at I think it's on at 9:00. Absolutely brilliant series, and the acting in it's brilliant, suspenseful. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. So if you wanna, it's a 10-part series. It's all in. It's over as well at the end. So there's no second. Well, there is a second series, but it's a bit like True Detective. It's different people, but very, very good. I would recommend it. Really, really good. It's called The Terror. It's got the guy from Chernobyl in it. Is it Jared Harris? Tobias Menzies. Really good. It's really, really good. I would definitely give it a watch. Sean Keneally, I'm not doing a cream pie. That's disgusting. Which football team do you hate the most, Mark? Brian? I don't hate. So I don't hate anybody, and I don't hate any team. But the team I dislike the most in the Premier League at the moment is probably Manchester City because they're top. Nice ball over the top for Mane. Good start to this game, though. 7 minutes in. What I like about this game is the pace on the break. Bobby says, you haven't given us your prediction. Right, I'm going to go Liverpool to win 2-0. Yeah. Who has got a higher ceiling out of Mason Greenwood and Phil Foden, says John Thompson. Well, I've never been to either of the houses, so I don't know. But no, on a serious... It's difficult because I think I think Foden and Greenwood have both got really high ceilings. I mean, I've always said that Mason Greenwood can be anything he wants to be, and I see more of him. So I think that Mason Greenwood could become a player that... I think Greenwood could be a top 10 in the world player, could be a top 5 in the world player. But I also think Foden could be as well. So they've probably got quite similar ceilings. I would hope that Greenwood's got the higher ceiling. Nice play by Wolves down the wing here. I definitely think it should have been a penalty to Wolves, by the way. And the main reason I think it was a penalty is because if Alisson doesn't foul him, which means it's a penalty anyway, whether it's a soft foul or not, if he doesn't make that foul, the Wolves player scores. So it's depriving a goal scoring opportunity. But it's good. It's been a good game. It's end to end, and I think Wolves are up for it. I love it. I love extras, Abhijit. Yeah, it's good. I haven't watched it for a while, but it's good. MS says you waffle so much. Sort of the idea of the thing when there's only you on a live stream chatting with everybody else. Silence doesn't tend to work well on a live chat. You know, one tip you might want to take from your life. Don't ever do a podcast and then be quiet, you know. Mark, did you ever collect any football stickers from the Euros or the World Cup? If so, have you still got them, says Jack. I have the World Cup. What was the Brazil World Cup? I've got sticker books of that I nearly completed. I was about 10 stickers away. So I used to think I might send off for the stickers, and then I thought, I can't be arsed. It's never going to be worth anything. Those days are gone. No one gives a shit about sticker books now. Not as a collector's item, anyway. And it was a shit World Cup. It wasn't a great World Cup, was it? I think, you know, what's been the best World Cup? What do you think's been the best World Cup? That's a great question. We all get excited about the World. Lovely ball out wide by Neves there to Traore. Puts the cross in. They do miss Jimenez, you know. I think that's probably why Wolves have not had the season they've had. Jota against their... Is it Jota or Jota? I used to have a Jota at school. Your Jota was where you used to make notes. Robertson with the cross, and Wolves pick it up. Uh, 2010's coming out as a good World Cup. Wasn't that the South African World Cup? Oh, I mean, to me, it's always dictated to by whether England do well. Somebody just said 1966 there. Well, if you were alive for it, Oliver, fair play. I wasn't. There's loads of shouting and screaming out the backside of the back door. Quick. Cat fight outside. 98 France was good. I did like the 98 World Cup, to be fair. I mean, England got knocked out a little bit early, but I did like the 98 World Cup. I mean, my favourite World Cup's 1990, but most of you lot won't be old enough for it. But I mean, I was very young myself. I used to get in from primary school, and they used to have like a 5 o'clock kickoff. So yeah, I did like Italian 90. 94 was okay, but England weren't in it. I think if England had been in 94, that probably would have been my favourite. Here's Mane. This should be 1-0. He ain't going to miss from there. Oh, he's gone a bit wide. There was shouting and screaming for ages. Mane should be scoring that. Why is he not lobbed him? He's running through one-on-one. He's gone to go round the keeper and he's gone too wide. 2014 World Cup was Brazil, wasn't it? I did like the Brazil World Cup, but again, England was so shit. And what you tend to get with the World Cup nowadays is you get the group stages tend to be really good, and then the knockout stages get really tense. I mean, look, why are we not saying that 2018 was good? Because England got to the semi-final. That game was France and Portugal in the 2018 World Cup. They've got a 3v2 here. Go on, run into the space. Phillips is too slow. Tom Hanks ain't catching him. Here we go. Traore. Oh, good defending by Kabak. Captain Phillips was all at sea there. He ain't got no pace. (2018) World Cup is underrated as disease gaming. Martinho's been hurt by Thiago here. It's just innocuous, really. Was the 2018 World Cup, was that the one? Was that Spain versus Portugal 3-3? It was a Friday night game. I think it was 2018. It must have been 2018 World Cup. Friday night, fantastic game it was. The group stage was brilliant of the 2018 World Cup. Yeah, Mane's got a score there. I don't know why he doesn't shoot. Goes too wide and the chance is gone. I thought, you know what, in fairness, I thought the 2018 World Cup was quite good. Obviously, ultimately, it was just disappointing from an England point of view. But you know, France won it. They were a very good side. Bye, A-Star. Next World Cup will be weird, middle of the season, says Sarab. Yeah, I'm writing that off. I mean, look, there is zero positive about the COVID crisis that we've had. But if the Euros had gone ahead last summer, the next summer tournament we would have been in 4 years' time because there's no World Cup in 2 years. So with the Euros being this summer, that means we've got 3 years until the next summer tournament, because the next summer tournament should be next summer, but it's going to be in the winter, isn't it? So I think international football's slowly dying anyway, isn't it? I wonder when Raul Jimenez is going to be back. Do you think does anybody know when Raul Jimenez will be back? Because it was a horrific injury, and you know, I don't know. They've never said anything about whether he's going to be back. When's your next watch along, says Sad? Wednesday, Chelsea, Atletico Madrid. I can't be asked doing Man City tomorrow night. Got no interest in it. I don't like watching Man City anyway. Let's tell you what, it's been a good game. I've been impressed with Wolves so far. 1990, because I'm Irish. 1986, Maradona's second goal, or 1970, that Brazilian goal. But forgetting about single goals has to be Italia 90, because that game between Romania and Ireland, Pride Day to be Irish, says Aidan. I loved the World Cup in Italia 90 because being English, the Cameroon game was just unbelievable. The Belgium game was great. David Platt. And then, you know what? It was gutting to lose to Germany in the semi-final, but it was a fantastic game. I mean, for 130 minutes, it was just total energy and passion and excitement. And ultimately, it ended badly. And yeah, my favourite Euros was '96. It was great. We had the thing about Euro '96 is we actually had the thing about England in Italia '90 and Euro '96 is we had two very different teams 6 years apart, but two very good teams. Nice ball down the wing here. Trent should get there. No, he won't. He doesn't. He gives up a throw in. What do you think about this David Silva versus Hazard debate? Says Ollie. I don't know what it is, mate. Mark, I remember when you said Mane was better than Salah. Do you still believe that? If so, who do you think is the best player in the Premier League? Says Vortex. I think Mane's been better than Salah the last year or so, but I would take Salah over Mane. I prefer Salah. Who do I think is the best player in the Premier League at the moment? I think the best player in the Premier League at the moment is probably Bruno Fernandes, Harry Kane, Ruben Diaz, Jack Grealish has got to be in with a shout. There's a couple of others as well. Mo Salah is having a good season as well. In a poor Liverpool side, he's having a good season. Mexico 86 and Mexico 70 are great to watch highlights of for Prime Pele and Prime Maradona. I was 10 in 2010 and all I remember is those stupid horns, says Ryan Moss. I love it around the Euros and the World Cup when they show you highlights of previous tournaments that you can probably watch all on YouTube now anyway. Do you think the Qatar World Cup should be boycotted, says Tom Kelly? Yeah, simply because it's being played at Christmas. Not forgetting all the political issues. I'll tell you what, Wolves have been very good in this game. Been very impressed with them. The way they've got some... one thing Wolves don't normally have is pace on the break. And they've won a corner here. Very impressed with Wolves so far. Please subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. Everybody's welcome on this channel. Don't know why I'm doing that. Probably because I can. La 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 la. Because I've got a chair I can move around in. Ha 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 ha. Staying alive, staying alive. Come on, Wolves. I do want Wolves to win because I'm a Manchester United fan and Liverpool are our biggest rival. But also, I think Liverpool are probably the biggest threat to top four. I don't think that Spurs, West Ham, Everton. I mean, I keep saying this about top four, and maybe Leicester are going to get top four this year. They're not going to choke because the big thing is, I think United, Chelsea, and Leicester fans are always looking behind us, thinking, "Will we get top four? Will we get top four?" But the issue is, and answers on a postcard for this: who is the team that is going to stop? Who is the team that's going to stop the top four at the moment? Who's going to find the consistency? I don't think Spurs are going to do it. I don't think Everton are going to do it. I don't think West Ham are going to do it. I think the only team that can do it is Liverpool. And if they don't win today, then they won't do it. And to be honest with you, based on the first 20 minutes, I don't actually think that Liverpool have been that good. Although they probably had the best chance of the game that realistically I would have expected Mane to shoot with. They'll go and score now. Liverpool haven't been that good. Edge of the box, Wijnaldum. Liverpool having their first bit of attack here, really. Another break for Wolves, though. I think Wolves are playing this very clever so far. That's a bad ball by Adama Traore, but they're getting a lot of break on this game, Wolves, and I think the first goal is going to be very interesting in this. Whoever gets the first goal, I think, can start to control the game a bit. Andy Robertson with the cross. Trent Alexander-Arnold with the cross. Salah, good defensive play there. Spurs just starting to Liverpool starting to turn the screw a little bit here. Andy Robertson, now officially the second best left back in the league behind Luke Shaw. It's amazing the blossoming of Luke Shaw, because I actually think Andy Robertson's a fantastic left back, and I think he's been comfortably the best left back in the Premier League. But you watch Luke Shaw now, and he's easily the best left back in the league. Super chat coming in from Mark Goldbridge. Will you do a watch along with Belle Delphine? I don't know who it is, and no, I've got an idea who it is actually. Right. Mane into the box. Good cross. Liverpool just getting the better of it at the moment. Last few minutes, Liverpool have come into it. Give them credit. They need to find a win. I've gone 2-0 to Liverpool. And I think that's the problem with Wolves, isn't it? They don't score enough goals. No, they don't, Mark. There's Mane in the box. Plenty of Wolves players back. They do like to get the ball behind men behind the ball. That's gone out for a goal kick. Tierney is not the best left back in the league, and you know why I'm happy to jump in on this conversation. I like him. I think he's a good player. I remember when Man United were linked to him when he was at Celtic. But the reason Luke Shaw is the best left back in the league, and the reason Arsenal fans want to say that Tierney's the best left back in the league, what happened? Oh, the cat. And the fox attacked the cat.
No, the cat was having a fight with the other cat, and now he's chasing a fox.
Nutter. Our cat's like Conor McGregor. He just goes out around trying to get into fights with everything. He's just had a fight with a cat outside, and now he's going after a fox. He'll lose both. He's just an idiot. He's like that person who gets into fights but can't actually win. But what was I saying before that? Yeah, Tierney, good left back. The reason Arsenal fans say he's the best left back in the league is because their club is a mid-table club and they need a claim to fame for something. And if we said to them that Tierney's the best left back in the league, they'd go out and do a poll to the Premier League to try and get a trophy for having the best left back in the league. But fortunately, they don't have the best left back in the league because they're a mid-table club. And if you've got the best left back in the league, then you wouldn't be mid-table. Wait a minute. Salah in the box, heads it back. Liverpool have suddenly gone up a gear here. Robertson's got it. Nice cross by Robertson. It goes out for a goal kick. So yeah, the reason Luke Shaw is the best left back in the league, and the reason that Tierney is a good left back and Robertson's a good left back, but the reason Luke Shaw's better is because if you actually watch Manchester United, we are second in the league. And the reason we are second in the league is because Luke Shaw is one of our top 2 players in that team as a left back. He's unbelievable. Defensively, very, very good. Energy, ridiculous. And attacking influence, very important as well. The overlap, the retention of the ball. So that's the reason really that Luke Shaw is a massive reason why we are second in the league. Well, if you've got a left back that's a massive reason that you're second in the league, then why haven't Arsenal got a left back who's got them second in the league? Luke Shaw's influence on this team is much better than Kieran Tierney's, who's a very good left back, but he's not as good as Luke Shaw. I don't know. Chelsea's not my second team, Jamie. I don't mind Chelsea as much as I used to dislike them, but I want them to win on Wednesday. I'm not a Chelsea fan, but I just want them to win on Wednesday. I suppose I'm technically a Chelsea fan. I just want them to knock out La Liga's best side so that I am proved right that La Liga is not as good as the Premier League. What's going on with Mane's hairline? It's growing back faster than my lawn in spring, says Gavin Blake. Good analogy. Yeah, I'm not reading that one out because it's just a rude one again. I said that Luke Shaw's one of our best 2 players. Bruno is obviously the other one. Khalifa. Skippy, who's a Liverpool fan, says, I hate how this season's gone. Even with injuries, we've got no excuses. For me, tonight is the crunch match. For the record, I believe that should have been a penalty. I don't think Liverpool have played badly in this game so far. I mean, are Liverpool a club in crisis? Of course they are. Of course they're a club in crisis. I mean, look at that. Their last 70 shots in open play, they've only scored 2 goals. It's a 3% conversion rate. That's Stevie Wonder conversion rates. 70 shots and you've only scored 2 goals. I think Stevie Wonder's got better than that. So, you know, that's not great from Liverpool. And it's not that they're not creating chances, they're not scoring. I mean, Mane's running through one-on-one about 20 minutes ago. He scores that every other season. I don't know what he's doing. Do you think this Liverpool team could beat Manchester United? I think this Liverpool team can beat anybody. I still think it's a good team, but there's a massive problem with it. Do you like the Cheltenham Festival? First time I won't be going in 7 years, gutted. I'm doing a live stream on Paddy Power for the Cheltenham Festival on Wednesday. So, I mean, I know what horse racing's all about. It's horses with people on the back running. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's a bit like the Super Bowl for me. I know what it's all about, but, you know, I'm just broadening my horizons. I used to watch the Gold Cup quite a lot as well. I feel like Luke Shaw is having one good season and people are hyping him up and people are forgetting about all the chances Robbo created last season, says Psycho. No. What would... No, I think Andy Robertson is a better left-back than Luke Shaw on the last 3 years. Of course he is. But at the moment, you know, who's the best left-back in the league? Who's the best striker in the league at the moment? Open question, isn't it? It doesn't mean that it's the best striker in the league. It's who's the best striker in the league at the moment based on this season. So, but no, Luke Shaw's not having one good season. This is a common misconception. He's actually been in a very good place for a long time. But yeah, going back to Liverpool, of course they're in crisis. I mean, they need to win tonight to have any slim chance of getting top 4. And I don't think that they're starting to come into the game a little bit more over the last 10 minutes, but you expect so much more from Liverpool. I think there's a vulnerability about them now. I think there was an invincibility about them. Pardon, Arsenal fans. I know you've got the copyright on that word, but they do have this, over the last couple of years, they've been ridiculously good. But I think for me, with Liverpool, it didn't start at the start of the season. It started after lockdown. They'd won that. They'd won the title by the time we went into lockdown, which, funnily enough, is coming up to... Well, not funny. There's nothing funny about it. But this is the week the UK went into lockdown, isn't it? So they've when they came back from lockdown, they basically had the title won, didn't they? And they weren't really the same. And then this season, they've not really been the same. So I don't really know what their issue is. I think they'll be a better team when they get the centre-backs back. But they'll also have a vulnerability about them that they didn't have before. They'll know that, they can lose games. And that changes your confidence levels. So I think Liverpool probably need to buy a couple of decent players in the summer, as well as getting people like Van Dijk and Gomez back, which will make a big, big difference. But... not being in the Champions League is going to be a real... I mean, it's not catastrophic. As a Man United fan, I should know. We're still a team... you're still you're still Manchester United. You can still attract good players being in the Europa League, but it'll be a big, big culture shock for Liverpool. I can't remember the last time they weren't in the Champions League. Answers in the live chat there. When was the last time Liverpool weren't in the Champions League? I personally, if I've got a theory about it, I personally think that Liverpool's problem is probably to do with the fact that they play such a high intense football that to play like that week in, week out, you need to keep everybody fit. But also, it must be very tiring when things start to go wrong. They weren't in the Europa League. They were in the Europa League in 15-16. Of course they were. They played Manchester United. We had Van Gaal. You beat us over 2 legs, didn't you? Here's Wolves coming down the left-hand side. Captain Phillips comes across and they win it back. He's going to give a foul for that, I think. What are the chances of top 4 if it's a draw, says Sam Ameson? Not very much, I don't think. Mark, you Pratt, how much do we need to super chat to get a timer that starts at 45 minutes after half-time? Sincerely, everyone. No, I won't do it, AJ. And thoughts on Jordan Henderson, Mark, says Ross G. Injured. And Molloy says, how much of Pace 1984 do you remember? Quite a lot. Probably it's in there somewhere. And I want Pedro Neto to get a goal, says Marvin AM. And which one player would you sign from Wolves, Mark? Well, I always like to do this. Which one player would I take from either team? From Wolves, I'd probably take Ruben Neves because we need a midfielder. We need somebody who can play in the pivot. And to me, he's one of the most underrated players in the league at doing that. So he's so good at taking the ball off the back four and playing that way. So I'll take Ruben Neves from Wolves. From Liverpool, Fabinho. So I get myself 2 CDMs. Yeah, I'm a massive fan of Fabinho. Cross comes in. Captain Phillips does well there, gets his head on it. Otherwise it was dropping down. I was just putting a tweet out there basically saying I'm very surprised that Manchester United have never really been linked to Ruben Neves because I think he'd be absolutely perfect for Manchester United. Perfect? No, he wouldn't be shit. But here he is on the ball now. He's just very cultured player, but obviously very happy at Wolves. Mark, does that make Aaron Wan-Bissaka Shaw's equal? Because I cannot see a difference. Please can you explain why Shaw is so much better than Aaron Wan-Bissaka, says Curtis Fisher. Mate, I can't explain that. If you can't see that, I can't explain it. I think the live comments is about to go absolutely crazy because any Man United fan who watches Manchester United for the last year will tell you that he's streets ahead of Wan-Bissaka, Luke Shaw. Mark, the gap between 10th and 2nd is only 11 points. The gap last year was 27 points. You're not much better than Arsenal at all. Concentrate on Milan. Hold on a minute. The gap between 10th and 2nd is only 11 points. The gap between... Well, you're lying there for a start. You can't do maths, mate. The gap between 2nd and 10th... Basically, the gap between Arsenal and Manchester United is currently 16 points. If you're at school, ask for some more maths lessons or get your mum and dad to pay for a tutor because it's 16 points between Manchester United in 2nd and Arsenal in 10th. It's 16 points, which is massive. That's more points than Sheffield United have got. It's only two less points than West Brom have got. So yeah. It's a third. Well, it's more than a third of the points Arsenal have got. So 16 points is rather big. Mark, the gap. So also, hi Mark. If you had a choice, who would you pick, Ruben Neves or Declan Rice? Says Jack. Mate, I'd be over the moon with either of those two players. I'm a massive fan of Declan Rice, so I probably would stick with Rice. But I think Neves would do a great job at Manchester United as well. I mean, I don't know how old Neves is. Ruben Neves. So he's 24. He's 25 actually. Oh no, he's only just 24. So he's still, he's younger than Scott McTominay. McTominay's 25 in December. Bloody hell, that's scary when you think about that, isn't it? Ruben Neves is a year younger than Scott McTominay. And we think McTominay's got potential, and yet Ruben Neves is a year younger than him. That is a scary thought. So, yeah, he's 24, just, and he's... ...24, and his contract's up in 2 years. So... They've got to do something with Ruben Neves, because they don't want him to go down into his last year of the contract. So his contract's up in 2023. I think he'd be worth a punt. Yeah, I think he's worth a punt. Tom Hanks has just given a foul up here. Captain Phillips. If you know, you know. Playing at centre-back for Liverpool today. He's got a sailor hat on. Another foul there. I think he's going to get a booking for that foul on Mane. And it's Neves who gets booked. Are you excited for England in the Euros, Lucas? Not really. I've not even looked at when the Euros are kicking off. England... Is anyone looking forward to the Euros? 13th of June, they play Croatia. 18th of June, they play Scotland. And the 22nd of June... Mane! Oh, he's got to score there. Got to score there. They've had 70 shots and scored, 71 shots now and scored 3 goals. He's like literally, it's a lovely cross. I mean, Trent should have an assist here. He puts it right on the head of Mane, pretty much level with the penalty spot, and he heads it wide. So yeah, England play on the 13th of June against Croatia. Then they've got Scotland, and then they've got the Czech Republic. Now, the interesting thing for me is that 13th of June is the first fixture for England in the Euros, right? This is how relentless this season is. Because the last fixture in the Premier League is on the 23rd of May. So there's really hardly any gap between the end of the Premier League season and the start of the Euros, which is good for the consumer, but it's for the player. You wonder how many more players are going to drop away, aren't you? His hair messed it up, says Mohammed. Oh, Thiago should be getting a book in there late on Neves. Quite dirty, you know, Thiago. Didn't even get booked. So 7 minutes to go to half time. I think it's been quite a good game, but obviously no goals. I'm going to put a tweet out about Liverpool's scoring record in a minute. I haven't had a stretch. Nobody's told me to have a stretch. Oh, yes. Is Fred the worst Brazilian in the Prem, says Sean Negative Turner. That's if he is Brazilian. You know, like they have these Netflix stories, 10-part series, whatever happened to Madeleine McCann, and, you know, the murder in such and such hotel, and, you know, who sank the Titanic. I actually think there will be a Netflix series in the next 10 years. Was Fred really Brazilian? And they'll have interviews with Jim from Stoke saying, well, I knew this lad, right, who used to live down street from me, and he was very good at football, but he's not actually from... I'm actually from Leeds, but I live in Stoke, and he was brilliant, absolutely brilliant, really good, but he couldn't shoot. I'll tell you what, if you stood him 2 metres in front of a garage door and asked him to kick the ball against it, he'd hit you in the face, and you'd be 5 mile away. But brilliant footballer, lots of tenacity. Well, I tell you what, I was watching Man United a few years later, and I was like, he reminded me of Tommy from down the road, and I'm convinced it's him. Like, he's turned into something else now. Futo says, you're so toxic, Mark, slating your own player. Mate, you know what it is? I'm not toxic. I just like a laugh. I think life's for living and life's for laughing. And I like Fred. I would put him on the bench. I think Fred would be a good bench player for Liverpool. I think he'd be a good bench player for a team that wants to win the title. And you bring him on, and he's in many ways Fred's quite underrated because his tackling is fantastic. His energy is brilliant. He's really quite tenacious. But his passing and shooting is not Brazilian. And that's why Man United fans say check his passport, because it's just not Brazilian in that sense at all. So no, it's not being toxic, it's being truthful. I think Fred's a really likeable player and he's a very popular player in the United fan base, but he's infuriatingly poor at passing and shooting, which when you put him next to McTominay is... Oh, Wolves! Oh, they've cleared it. They've cleared it. 0-0 is the score. That's what it says below. Next cooking video will be on Friday, man. Cooking a pudding. Here's Traore. Wolves just really are lacking that cutting edge. Mark, Fred grew up in Slough with me. Best mates with 8-touch Teddy and 2 left feet Freddie. He learnt a lot from them, says Uber Melon. Thiago's finally been booked. Probably long overdue. And it's a free kick on the edge of the box. And you know what? You talk about the attributes of Neves, and this is a really good chance for him to have a shot here. Quite far out. Would you take Konza? He looks very good, says HH Gaming. No, I don't care whether he's good or not. I want a player that is a first team player for Manchester United, and I think Konza comes in and he has to sit on the bench whilst he becomes good enough to play with Neves. Good shot, straight at Alisson. Whilst he becomes good enough to play instead of Lindelof and Maguire, so that doesn't help. No. Haaland and Sancho to Manchester United, says Chad. Oh, yeah, and then you wake up. Nearly got 8,000 people watching, which is fantastic. Please smash a like on the video and give it a share. That doesn't mean put share on. That doesn't mean you've got to shout out. Alexa, play share. Do I believe? If that starts up, that would be hilarious. But there you go. And Ricky just said there is no difference between Lukaku and Bruno based on impact. We finished second with Lukaku. Switched to this after that channel, says Brian. Well, should have gone on tonight. Back post. It's it. Oh, it just shoots wide. Gets it on the edge of the box. Takes a touch. Puts it wide. Wolves finishing the half better. Can you stick the ingredients up to allow people to cook along? Loving the show, Mark. Think Wolves will nick it. I will do on Thursday, Anthony Dunn. I mean, there's the ingredients for the cooked breakfast. There really wasn't much point because it's hash browns, sausages, bacon, baked beans, 2 eggs, and some tomatoes. So I normally do put the ingredients up, but there was no hidden ingredients for that, was there really? Well, we're just about to hit half time here. Realistically, who will United sign this summer, says Nathan Capewell. Realistically, based on evidence, Tyrone Mings and God knows. I mean, I don't really expect anything. Football Manager's back tomorrow on Twitch, 7 o'clock, couple of hours. So yeah, you can. I'll drop the link in the video description for that in a bit, actually. Looking forward to that tomorrow. And also FIFA Career Mode's back tomorrow as well. I've got to start doing better. I'm not very happy. We're 300 subscribers away from 340,000. So please subscribe, bottom right hand corner. Let's see if we can get to 340,000 on the road to 350. Here we go. Big chance. And he has scored. Jota scores just right on half time. I thought he'd put it wide. He put it into the bottom corner. And Liverpool score. 3 goals in 72 shots. They've now got a slightly better 4% success rate. They're level with Stevie Wonder. It's 1-0 to Liverpool. Mane gets it to Salah. Back to Mane. It's a well-worked goal, actually, and his finish is good. I don't know whether he hits. I don't know whether he does it on purpose, actually, Jota. But I'll give him benefit of the doubt. I think the keeper should save it. He hits it quite well. Against his former club. Hits it low. No respect there. He's happy. He's scored. 1-0 to Liverpool. What the hell's going on there? So yeah, Liverpool leading 1-0. I just need to change the score as well. Was that a deserved goal? Well, it's a good goal. It's a good goal from Jota, if that's how you pronounce it. But I think Patricio should be saving it. And I do think that Wolves' problem, very, very simple, isn't it? We've said this so many times throughout the season. Why are Wolves so low in the league? And I think watching them today, you think it again. Why are Wolves so low in the league? But every time I watch them, they've got a huge issue around scoring goals, and they don't have a goal scorer because of Jimenez, and I think that's Wolves' biggest problem. They've looked quite good, and it's been quite an equal game. But Liverpool look so much more dangerous than Wolves on the attack, because Wolves just don't have those attackers to score a goal. So Patricio should have saved it, but Liverpool lead 1-0 at half time in a game they must win. They've got to win it. My prediction before the game was that they'd win 2-0, and they're halfway there, but it's 1-0 to Liverpool. The clock is not running anymore, Fernando. And you think United should have let Lukaku leave. He's tearing it up now, says Lucas. I'm very glad that Lukaku left. I've got no regrets around that one, to be fair. But yeah, I think it should have been a penalty to Wolves, by the way. They'll probably show it at half-time. But for me, he fouls him. And if he doesn't touch him, the Wolves player scores a goal. So 1-0 to Liverpool. I don't know why I've got Spurs in the mouth. Today. Got no idea why I keep mentioning the name Spurs, but it's 1-0 to Liverpool, and they will. Well, somebody just said there, Mark, Liverpool are going to get top 4, says Kareem. Well, I think they go, if they were to win today, they would go 5 points behind Chelsea, but they've played the same amount of games. Well, 5 points for Liverpool. If you look at the fixtures that Liverpool have actually got left, I do think Liverpool will at least finish sort of 5th. But the games they've got left, they've got Arsenal, so that's 3 points. Then they've got Villa, and they've got Leeds. Then they've got Newcastle. Then they've got Manchester United, Southampton, West Brom, Burnley, and Palace. I mean, the only hard game they've really got is Manchester United. So they could go on a ridiculous running streak. But let's not forget that Liverpool can only get so many points. So whatever their winning streak is, they can only get 73 points even if they win all 10 games. And I don't think they'll win all 10 games. So I think Liverpool are going to probably get maximum 70 points, which means that Manchester United only need 13 from 30 to finish above Liverpool. Leicester only need 14 from... Sorry, Manchester United only need 13 from 27. Leicester only need 14 from 27. Chelsea would need a little bit more. Chelsea would need 19 from 27, which is not as easy. So it's basically Chelsea and Liverpool, and maybe Leicester if they fell apart, but it's Liverpool and Chelsea for 4th place. I think Manchester United and Leicester, with the gap they've got, on Chelsea and Liverpool. It's almost double, isn't it? 5 points Chelsea to Liverpool at the moment, but even if Liverpool win this, they're still 11 points off United and 10 off Leicester, which would be a major collapse from United and Leicester if they allowed Liverpool to get past them. But I think Liverpool won't win the Champions League, so it's their best way. Mark, don't know about Stoke, but a lad called Freddie went with me to school in Burnley, says Daliber. And there was another super chat there that I need to find. It was from Marketing James. He says, Mark, we need to buy Koulibaly or Varane, because if we buy Koundé, he won't start him because he loves experienced players. Probably a fair point, that. We can play either or if you want to chuck some stuff in as well. And yet they may still be European champions, says Happy Funster. Well, never, ever count Liverpool out. I remember 2005. I don't know how they won that Champions League. And then 2 years later, they played even better, but they didn't win it. But they got to the final again. I was like, what the bloody hell's going on? How are Liverpool getting to Champions League finals? They were irrelevant in the league. 2005 and 2007, they were absolutely irrelevant in the league. It was all about United and Chelsea and a little bit of Arsenal, I think, then, but not Liverpool. And they nearly won they won one and they nearly won another one. So don't ever write Liverpool off in the Champions League. As we know, their history is very, very good there. But, yeah. Thanks for the super chat, Danny Reeves. I'm disgusted that people keep doubting West Ham. Why are we not seen as contenders, says Julian. Because, you know what? I've got a lot of time for West Ham. I think you missed Lingard yesterday, but he can't play against Manchester United, and I think he makes you better. But the reason people write West Ham off is because your manager writes you off. Like, I've seen you play against Liverpool when Liverpool were vulnerable, and you sat back and parked the bus and they beat you. I saw that you play against Man United last night when we were vulnerable, and you sat back and parked the bus and let us beat you. So West Ham are your own worst enemies. I think you've had 2 major opportunities this season and parked the bus. Moyes has had a brilliant season. You can't be critical of Moyes because he's put you into 5th place, but his approach to these games has been very, very defensive. And look, Sunday, West Ham Arsenal Premier League game, 3 o'clock. Put your money on Arsenal because I think West Ham will go defensive in that game. But West Ham's running, Wolves away, that'll be tough. Leicester at home, that will be a massive game. We'll have to do a watch along for that, it'll be huge. Then they've got Newcastle and Chelsea, massive game, West Ham Chelsea. Then they've got Burnley, that'll be hard. Everton, Brighton, West Brom and Southampton. So there's a lot of games that I think West Ham could drop points. So I don't think West Ham will get top 4. Yeah. And I think that's nothing to do with fans not thinking you're good enough. I think that's to do with David Moyes playing a little bit too defensive in the games that you should be going to win. I mean, look, I was very happy with Man United winning last night, but I was like, I can't believe that this is a penalty. This is the penalty. Watch this. He drops it. The Wolves player is going to score a goal if he doesn't get taken down by Alisson. That's a penalty for me. You might say it's soft, but the reality is, if Alisson doesn't touch him, he's shooting into an empty net. Drops the ball, knocks it past him, and then takes him out. I can't believe it's not a penalty. Haven't been feeling too good lately, says Official Chick. Been feeling down and alone all because of a girl and any advice. Love your videos and streams I watch to keep my mind off things. I'm a new follower, keep it up. Well, my advice would be, it's very difficult when you break up with somebody that you like, on a serious note, but what you need to do is, if the relationship's over, don't go chasing it, and you've got to heal. You've got to heal, and the best way to do that is to occupy your mind with things you like doing. Legal things, don't start doing illegal things, but as I said, watch The Terror on iPlayer. That's 10 hours, very good series. Hey Mark, would you take Messi at United this summer if he wanted to come, even though he's a penalty merchant and finished, says Jens. I think most people would take that. Mane has clearly had a hair transplant. His hairline is grown out a lot, says Max. A lot of people very focused on Mane's hairline tonight. Devil says, yeah, it was a penalty. They've been robbed. Well, look, you know what? I think Wolves have played quite well in this game, and I think that they could play better. And I think that's what they need to try and do. But my problem is, I think Liverpool are going to win this game. I predicted 2-0, and I think I'll stick to my prediction. And the reason I'll stick to my prediction is because they don't have any. They don't have anyone to score the goals. Simple as that. Is Calvert-Lewin underrated, says Akshat? I think if Calvert-Lewin was at Arsenal, he'd score a lot of goals. I think he's way better than Lacazette. I think if he was at United, he'd score a lot of goals. I think if he was at Man City, he'd score a lot of goals. I think if he was at Liverpool, he'd score a lot of goals. I think Calvert-Lewin's a good striker. And I think what Everton need to do this summer is spend again. They've got money. They need to, they made some really good signings in the summer. But when Rodriguez isn't on it, or Calvert-Lewin's injured, or Richarlison's out suspended, their levels drop. I think they need a bigger squad. Even Carragher said it's a definite penalty. I just can't believe VAR hasn't picked up on that, really, to be honest with you. Do I think Chelsea have got a slight chance of winning the Champions League, says Football Clips? Oh yeah. I mean, look, I think they're. I think Chelsea are a hard team to score against. I'm doing the watch along on Wednesday night against. I think it is on Wednesday night, isn't it? On Wednesday night, I'm doing the Chelsea Atletico Madrid game. Tomorrow night, I've got no interest in Man City against Borussia Mönchengladbach or Real Madrid against Atalanta, to be honest with you. I'm going to be doing a Football Manager stream on Twitch. But the Chelsea game on Wednesday, I will do it. Atletico Madrid, 1-0, evenly poised. And I think that they'll go through that game. And I'm interested to... in fact, I'll probably do a Champions League quarter-final draw on Friday, actually. I think it'd be very interesting to see what ties come out there, because they've got a very good chance, and I want them to beat Atletico Madrid. I want them to really beat Atletico Madrid, because I think Atletico Madrid are the best team in Spain, and I think the Premier League's better than the Spanish League at the moment. Will you do a preferred England 11 before the Euros, says Ian? I'm sure we probably will do that. And do you think Ronaldo's ego is too big to be part of a swap deal, says Safe? I don't think there'll be a swap deal between Ronaldo and Manchester United. Apparently there was a handball for Wolves. I think you're talking about the Andy Robertson cross. Well, I can't comment on handballs anymore because I don't know what a handball is, and I don't know what a handball is now. I've seen blatant handballs. I saw Chelsea do it against United. I saw Kante do it against Liverpool. We saw the Arsenal one. For me, they're all blatant handballs, but they don't get given anymore. So I can't really comment on what a handball is anymore because I don't know. Rye says, "What's your thoughts on Leicester?" I think the last two games, they've pulled it out when they needed to. When the doubters were starting to come again, they've pulled it out, and Leicester have got a great chance of being in the Champions League. I mean, people say we're sleeping on Leicester. I don't think we're sleeping on Leicester. I think we're wide awake to Leicester. We've had a pint of coffee, as I've said, because they bottled it last year, and the expectation is that they would bottle it again. But I don't see a team that's going to be consistent enough. This is what Sir Alex Ferguson always said. I'd rather have the points on the board than some be 6 points ahead and someone's got 3 games in hand on us, because you've got the points on the board. People always assume that games in hand are going to be wins, but they're not always that. So Leicester and Manchester United are comfortable in second place and third place at the moment. They've got a big gap on everybody else, and I can't see anybody having the consistency, apart from maybe this team that's playing tonight, who are not in the top 4. So top 4 predictions, says Yazza. I knew someone was going to ask that. I think Manchester United will get top 4. I think Chelsea will get top 4. So therefore, it's Leicester or Liverpool. But the gap is 10 points even if Liverpool win. Can Liverpool make 10 points on Leicester? I don't know. Unless Chelsea drop out, but I don't think Chelsea will drop out. And if I'm saying Leicester could drop out, then surely they're only a point behind United. Why would United not drop out? I mean, United's fixtures, I don't see us dropping out, to be honest. We've got Brighton is our next Premier League game. I'd expect us to win that at Old Trafford. Tottenham could be difficult because it's Mourinho. Burnley at home, I'm not managing them, so I'd expect them to win that. Leeds away, I actually think we'll beat Leeds because I think Leeds play very open. So I'd expect United to take 9 points from their next 12, which just keeps that, that gets you within 3 points of the magic 70 that I think you get top 4 for. Then they play Liverpool, which will be big. Then they play Villa, Leicester, Fulham and Wolves. So, there are difficult games for United to come, but it's interesting how it might pan out, really. Definitely. Definitely. But yeah. I don't want to dodge the question. I think that the top four will be. I think it will be as it is. I think the logical thing is to go with what it is. Although, if Liverpool get top four, it is the top four I predicted, just not in the right order at the start of the season. Tusha, I'm going to have to get rid of you because I'm bored of the same question being asked in capital letters. So, sorry. Would you rather United sign Messi or Foden this summer, says Jack? Well, won't sign either. And got a Wolves fan. Liverpool don't even deserve to be winning in the slightest. Well, you should have had a penalty. And this is Liverpool's problem. Why does Mane not finish this? He should hit it now. That's when he should hit it. Why don't you just hit it? Why are you going round the keeper from there? And I think that's the problem with Liverpool now. Maybe that's what Thierry Henry is talking about. They normally would be taking that sort of shot. VAR, keep it or not, says Ryan Clark. Well, they're going to keep it. I've never liked VAR. I've said it from however many years we've had it. I've said it a lot on this channel. I do not like VAR and I would get rid of it. But it's here to stay. I think the use of it is shambolic, to be honest with you. This could be the biggest quarterfinal yet if it happens. Dortmund versus Bayern. I think the quarterfinals have got very, very big potential. Learish says, "Hey Mark, how amazing is Shaw at the moment? And he's only 24. The second half has just kicked off. I don't even think he's hit his peak form. We have been one of the best left backs in the world for a few years to come. And if Semedo fouls Alisson like that, it's a foul," says Matthew Larnick. Well, exactly. It should have been a penalty. But wasn't. And you have to move on from that. So let me just sort out the timer here. There we go. Can Wolves find a goal? I think this is their problem. They play good football, but they've just got no cutting edge. And Traore loses the ball there. 2-0 was my score prediction. What do you think in the second half? Do you think they can get back into it? Luke Shaw's 25 anyway. He's 26 in the summer. Who's going through, AC Milan or Manchester United? I don't know. I'm really excited about it though. Very excited about it. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right hand corner. And hey Mark, what do you think of Ben Foster? I don't know. I don't know really. I don't really think much of him, to be honest. Never met him, so I think it's always very dangerous to comment on somebody you've never met. I don't really watch his stuff either, so can't really comment. I've met people who I thought, I bet they're a really great person. Turned out to be complete twats. Met some people you think they're nice, backstabbers. So bit of a profound reply there, but it's true. I'm sure we all know that all we know is our own mind, and some of us don't even know that. Good running by Semedo into Traore. You always want to think the best of people, but unfortunately, so many of them let you down, especially in this industry. Bloody hell, yeah. If I talk, I'll say too much. Full of wankers, really. Anyway, not talking about the live comments, of course. Corner to Wolves. Can they find a goal in this game? I don't think they can. I think they're your ideal weekend guest because they always keep their sheets clean in the wrong way. At the wrong end. That doesn't sound right, does it? Neto, good play. Put some decent cross in. Oh, does he get a corner for that? No, it's not gone out. Wolves starting with a bit of momentum here. Cross come to the back post. Oh, you've got to score that, mate. You've got to score that, mate. Cody Scouser probably didn't want to score against his club. Could be an Evertonian, but he's got to score that. Connor Cody, right on his head. This is the problem. This is the problem. Who do you think's going to win the Euros, says Sebastian? I would probably say France. The ref is disappointing. We should have had a pen, says Joey Jeff. Yeah, I don't rate this referee either. Big chance for Cody. He's got to score that, though. Aguero to Barcelona. He'd still do a good job. I mean, how old's Sergio Aguero now? 33? Checking people's ages a lot today. I feel like a doorman. 32, 33 in the summer. Not far off. So, yeah, I think Aguero would do a very good job in La Liga. I think if Mata went back to La Liga, he'd still do a good job. It's a slower league, isn't it? And I'm not saying that La Liga is slow. I think when Real Madrid play Barcelona, Atletico Madrid play Real Madrid, there's an intensity to those games. But there's a lot of games in La Liga that are slow games, you know, when you're playing some of the shitter teams. So I think that Aguero would still do a very good job in La Liga. What was the wine you were having tonight, says Anthony Dunn. It was quite nice. I got it as part of... got it from Argentinian red wine. I think it was Malbec or something like that. I'm not a wine connoisseur. I sound like I am there, but I do like red wine. Salah with the shot from distance over the bar. Guy says, any good advice you've picked up over the years? Yeah, don't eat yellow snow, and there's always more than one side to a story. Is something that I live my life by, really. I know so many people who, especially in this industry, don't like me because somebody's told them about a lie, really. This has been something I've had from mainstream media outlets. I've had it from people within sort of YouTube. They don't like me personally, even though they've never spoken to me, because somebody's told them a load of lies. And then occasionally you get to meet these people and they'll go, oh, actually, you're all right. And then when they open up a bit, they'll go, I never really liked you because such and such said this. And I'll say to them, well, you know what? I don't take an opinion on somebody just because somebody else gives me their opinion on somebody I haven't met. I'll always meet somebody. But a lot of people in life, whether it's your school life, your working life, your family life, people are easily led. If I go and speak to one of my mates tomorrow and say such and such is a complete and utter dickhead, I guarantee I've got friends who will believe my opinion because they trust it. But I might be being deceptive. I might have reasons for that. So I always think that. And I tell you what, if you're ever going to work in law enforcement, it's very important that you gather evidence and get multiple sides of the story. Don't just accept one. But on a personal note, I don't accept one side of the story anyway. I think you should always, even if you want to. I mean, look at what happened last week in the media in the UK. You've got Meghan Markle and Harry doing their interview, and then you've got the whole Piers Morgan thing. Two very different views on the same thing. I don't know what the truth is. So actually, I'm not even getting involved. I'm not making my mind up because I haven't got the evidence. I just think it's entertainment because that's all I can look at it as. I can't make an opinion. But so many people are on social media and they're making an opinion on something that they can't have all the evidence of. So it's just a soap opera, isn't it? But it's people's lives. So I don't need to pass judgment on things that I'm going to pass a judgment because I prefer one side or the other. I can't do that. I don't know the truth. So yeah, I would always say that to people. As much as you might want to believe somebody's the villain or whatever like that, maybe try and get both sides of the story. 2-1 Wolves, says Dylan. I don't think they can score 2 goals. I don't think they'll score 2 goals this month. Megan or Morgan, says Bill Clint. I don't really have much of a. I didn't even watch all of the interview. I only picked up on bits off social media. What I find entertaining is the amount of people who get angry about it. Oh, they're lying. Oh, Piers is a dickhead. This, that, and the other. I'm like, I can't see any evidence either way that you could really start hating on anybody. And why hate on people anyway? It's not how I live my life, as I said. Well, I've never liked Piers Morgan. I haven't. I mean, me and Woody and Tarkovsky, we were talking about it in training, and he's always been an arrogant twat, and I don't like Good Morning Britain. I like that Susanna Reid who doesn't, but she's not because she's a woman. I'm not that basic. I mean, she's a fantastic journalistic reporter and a brilliant interviewer. Oh, I'll tell you what, I'd love to be interviewed by her. But Piers Morgan is just a big show off, and he's an Arsenal fan. So I ain't got a lot of time for him. But then again, no one deserves to lose the job. He's a good presenter, but I think he's a bit arrogant. Somebody did ask me to do Sean Dyche. That's me. That's it. Done for the show. That's me messed up now. I need to get a new what do they call it? A new impression. I'm working on one actually. It'll be very good if I can do it. But PK says you hate on Harry Maguire. I don't hate on Harry Maguire, and your capital letters can put you in a timeout actually, mate. I don't hate on anybody, so if your interpretation is that I hate on somebody, then you're just as bad as the people I've just spoken about, because you're making an assumption about me. You don't fucking know me. So I don't have hate in my life. It's pointless. I have Salah. Oh, Wolves tackle. I don't hate people because you carry hate. If you hate somebody, the only damage you're doing to yourself, to anybody, is yourself. If hate lives in you, it doesn't live in the other person that you hate. It lives in you. So I don't hate anybody. What a lot of people say is that, oh, you hate on somebody. I don't hate anybody. It's just your lack of intellect that you have to use the word hate to describe the fact that you can't accept the fact that I don't just blow wind up footballers' arse because they're multimillionaires. They are paid to do a job. They are entertainers. If I go and watch a film and come out and say it's shit, I've not been entertained. If I watch a player in a Manchester United shirt and I think they've had a bad game, I'm going to say they've had a shit game. If they have a good game, I'll say they've had a good game. That's not hate. That's just critiquing an entertainment performance. I don't know the player. How can I hate them? But Liverpool here are pushing for the second goal. I tell you, if they get the second goal, I think it's game over, because I hope Wolves can get a goal, but I'm not confident that they can even score a goal themselves. It could be game over as it is. They just don't have a cutting edge, do they? They need a knife sharpener to sharpen their attack. Oh, be a big win for Liverpool if they get it though. Please subscribe, by the way. We're getting close to 340,000 apparently, according to Ehab, who's our moderator tonight. Who's the man of the match so far, says Mad Lad. It's a bloody good question actually. I think Neves has played well for Wolves, and I think Fabinho has played well for Liverpool, but apart from that, it's been a very equal game. You've got to say Jota as well. Sam Diamond says they can't sharpen a knife if they haven't got a knife. What's that film? That's not a knife. This is a knife. That's not a knife. That's a terrible Australian accent. Put a couple of Barbie. Put a couple of bottles on the Barbie. Rubbish. Absolutely terrible. I can't do an Australian accent. Well, go on then. Come on then. I can't do it. What? Don't try and do something you can't do live. Most Australians wouldn't give a Castlemaine 4X for anything else. Still shit. Absolutely rubbish. Good day, mate, says Nicholas. Good day, mate. I can't remember what I wanted to say now in Australian, so we move on. Crocodile Dundee was the film. That's not a knife. This is a knife. Still sounds like I'm Scottish or something. Crocodile Dundee. God, that takes me back. Probably watched that film about 15 times, but not watched it in about 20 years. Used to watch it when I was a kid. Crocodile Dundee, says Ollie. Thanks, Ollie. I'd love to go to Australia, actually. Yeah, I'd love to go to Australia. I love my rocking chair. I've got to be careful though, because there is a wall behind me. I could bang my head. Imagine if, like, I went back like that, knocked myself out, went into my chair, was like that. It's very quiet, so people in the house wouldn't know, but I would still be streaming. And unless, what would you do? Yeah, Samson makes a good point. The problem with Australia is they've got sharks that eat you, spiders and snakes that can hurt you. And, yeah. Say what you like about England, but we don't have any of that. What do we think of Tottenham, Hirad? Probably the same as what everybody else thinks. Probably the same as what Tottenham fans think. Like, this season is like a yo-yo. But look, I look at that Tottenham team that started yesterday, and a lot of people were like, oh, they're going to beat Arsenal. But it's not always about the team that you put out. It's about how you send the team out. And the reality is, Arteta sent his team out in the right way yesterday, and they deserved to win. And, I was really impressed with Smith Rowe and Odegaard. I thought they played really, really well. And Spurs had better players than Arsenal on paper, but Mourinho doesn't send them out to play. Lovely play here. Go on, Traore. Oh, what's he got there? A foul on Robertson. Mark, should United sign Declan Rice to accommodate both Van der Beek, Pogba and Bruno to play a diamond, and Rashford and Cavani up front, says Sidant. I don't think Ollie will ever go back to a diamond again. Do you rate Arteta, says Gamer66? I do. I mean, look, a lot of people think I don't like Arsenal. I like bantering Arsenal. But I don't dislike Arsenal. And but I think Arteta's done a good job. And if you remember in December, a lot of top Arsenal fans were saying, get him out, get rid of him. I mean, there was T-shirts worn and everything. What a prat move that is. Putting a T-shirt on to sack your manager 3 months ago when he's hardly been at the club, and then 3 months later you're having to swallow that T-shirt and shit it out with the word "I'm a prat" on it, because it's ridiculous. Like, even as I've got to say, I revel in the banter of Arsenal, like I'm sure many of us do. But even I, as somebody that would, love to see Arsenal fail, I could see that Arteta's job was very difficult, and that he actually is an intelligent manager. And I've seen, the reason I know Arteta's an intelligent manager is because I've seen him manage against Manchester United, and we've struggled against Arsenal. Ollie's struggled against Arsenal every time he's played him, even though we've got better players. So I know that he's a decent coach, and I think that the problem that you've got at Arsenal is whether the board will, probably the same at United, whether the board will remove some of the shit there and then replace it with talent. Mark, have you seen the video of Kabak spitting on a player after fouling them? It's pretty disgusting, says Colin. Could be a cultural thing. I'm not saying it's a good thing. If he gets seen, he'll get a ban, won't he? But Wolves' final ball is dreadful. Absolutely dreadful, mate. Absolutely dreadful. We're 200 subscribers away from 340,000, so please subscribe. Click that button, bottom right-hand corner. I've also dropped in the link in the video description. It wasn't there before, but it is now. My Twitch page. Let me just make sure it works. Oh, it's not working for me. It won't load. Oh, it is now. It is now. Yeah, so the link's in the video description for my Twitch page. Very close to 55,000 followers on there, but that's not the point. Give us a follow if you do watch Twitch by clicking that link. I'm live at 7 o'clock tomorrow night with episode 4, or I think it's episode 5 actually, of my Football Manager career mode. Really enjoying that. Couple of hours. Very chilled out and relaxed live comments, playing a bit of Football Manager. So if it's up your street, or if you want to give it a try, tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, links in the video description. Give us a follow on Twitch. Very good notifications on Twitch anyway, so if you give me a follow, you should get a notification. Traore, good run, good cross, and Alisson gets the look with clearance, and another block there. I just don't think they can score. Do you wear women's clothes on a Saturday, says Theory Productions? No, I don't. Once a month on a Sunday. Nothing wrong with that. I don't do it really. I will be playing a bit of Rocket League, Zach, but not tomorrow night. It's Football Manager. I've done my Sean Dyche impression, George. There might be another one later. Did you watch The Last Dance, Ryan? Oh, I loved The Last Dance. That's one of those series, a bit like The Terror. I really wish I could watch it again. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I binged watched it. And The Last Dance was the same. I loved that. That was one of my favourite series last year as well. I absolutely loved it. I'd watch it again actually. Last Dance, because in a couple of years I'll watch that again. Susanna Reid or Declan Rice, says Sam. I don't think Susanna Reid's going to solve our centre defensive midfield issues. I really don't. So it's got to be Declan Rice for me. What film did you end up watching last night? It wasn't last night. It was Saturday night. I watched The Trial of the Chicago 7, which was actually very good and based on a true story. So I would recommend that. Netflix series suggestions, Paul. It's not on Netflix, but watch The Terror. 10 episodes. It's on BBC iPlayer at the moment, and you probably get it off something else. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Netflix series. I'm not really watching one at the moment. I've just finished watching The Crown, which was interesting, different to the sort of thing I would normally like. But I've not got anything on the go on Netflix at the moment. I was going to watch Safe House actually, which is quite an old thing, but Line of Duty's back on Sunday. Football Clips, is Terror scary to watch? I don't think it's massively scary. I think it's more of a psychological scary. It's not like, I don't know what. I don't really like horror, so I found it okay to watch. So Cheltenham Festival this week, Max. Yeah, I'm doing a watch along on Paddy Power on Wednesday afternoon, so I'll let everyone know the link for it. But yeah, looking forward to it. If you watch the Super Bowl, I don't know where that 7,000 people are now. We might have some in the live comments, but that's one of my highlights of 2021. That Super Bowl watch along was just brilliant. I can't believe I did it sober as well. Loved it. Haven't watched the Queen's Gambit, so free kick to Wolves here. I don't know whether he's given a free kick. Double substitution for Liverpool, 25 minutes to go. Keita and Milner coming on. Callum says Super Bowl was watch along was so good. Oh, if you know, you know. It was fantastic. Wijnaldum's coming off here. Milner comes on, puts the armband on. And Thiago comes off. Can't believe it. He's confused. Thiago can't believe it. I wish I could do a Jamie Carragher impression. Well, at the end of the day, Gary, he's got to come off there. I can see I can't do it. Thiago's crying, says Mike, and watched Cherry last night. Highly recommend it, says Jack Monaghan. I haven't watched Your Honour. Very good though, apparently. I've watched Silence of the Lambs, watched it ages ago. So 23 minutes to go. It's interestingly poised. I think Wolves probably deserve something out of the game, apart from the fact that they just can't score goals. Liverpool probably bedding in a little bit here now. Wolves having a lot of the attack. Do you ever watch Home and Away? I used to watch Home and Away and Neighbours, yeah. Oh, edge of the box. Good tackle. And he's given a free kick as well. Right on the edge. Fouled Neto. Oh no, he's giving it to Liverpool, has he? Oh, this ref's on about. No, I think the ball had gone out for a goal kick. Yeah, ball had gone out for a goal kick. Yeah, ball had gone out for a goal kick. So Willian Jose goes on. Fabio Silva comes off. "20 minutes to go. Come on, Wolves. Score a goal. Have you ever been to Donegal in Ireland, Mark? Says Matthew Harvey. I don't think I have. I can't. It doesn't spring to mind. I'd like to say that I have, but I don't think I have. Mark, my son loves your Ollie impression. Can you do one for him, please? Says Ashraf. My Ollie impression's rubbish, though. It really is. I will do it because, you know, I like to try and entertain where I can. Most of it's accidental entertainment, but I wonder if I could probably learn a better Ollie impression. I've never really analysed him, even though I listen to him a lot. I don't really think about his facial movements or anything like that. Kaneki, come. Well, I need to think of something. I've took it away. Kaneki, come. Are you watching Liverpool? Kaneki, Kloppy, Ploppy, shitty, City, Kaneki. They're beating Wolves 1-0, and that should be a penalty. That would be a penalty against us, Kaneki. See, I can't. I need something to talk about to do an impression, and I can't really think of anything to talk about. Mark, just wanted to say, been watching you years. Love all your content. You make me laugh with all the jokes. Take care, dude. Up the United. Thank you, Richard. Thank you very much for that. Anybody can do an Ollie impression. You just put a Y on the end of everybody's name. It was rubbish, Richard. It was terrible. I'm better at accents when I do them off my own steam. When I'm asked to do things, I'm rubbish at them. I've told this story before, if you've ever watched Star Wars, The Phantom Menace, don't do it, but most of us have wasted that time. Some of us have even done it 3 times, thinking it's going to be better if you watch it again. It's not, it's shit. But there's a flying alien, I can't remember what his name is, and he speaks like this. He's Annie's slave man, and that's not a terrible impression of him, but I used to be able to do it bang on. I'd do it for like 5 minutes around the time The Phantom Menace came out. I tell you what, I lived in Ireland at the time. Shot straight at the keeper there from Adama Traore. Lived in Ireland at the time, Dublin. Sebulba, that was his name, Sebulba. It was Sebulba. It's Watto. Sebulba was the one driving the car, wasn't it? You're thinking of the one who it's Watto. And this was when the film came out. Everybody watched it because there hadn't been a Star Wars film for years. I'd be in a pub in Dublin doing that voice for like 5 minutes on end. I'd get loads of drinks, loads of laughs. And then one day somebody said, "I've brought somebody down from accounts, do that Watto impression." And I went to do it and it was crap. And the person who brought him down just looked at the ceiling and the other guy just walked away. And I was like, this is the problem with impressions. I can do them for a bit and then they disappear. Do I know the Sidemen personally? No. Would you do a collab with them? Yes. And thoughts on 442s? I like it, Gemma. I've done some collaborations with them. They're better than the sequels. I quite liked Force Awakens. Little Annie, is that you? See, rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. It's like a really constipated Sean Dyche with a slight Italian accent, because that's what it was. Wolves have been the better team, says James. Yeah, but as we know as United fans, being the better team doesn't mean you win. March. I've been called March. March. That's the month. That's not my name. March. Have you seen The Mandalorian? Amazing show and the best of Star Wars since Revenge of the Sith, apart from Rogue One. Rogue One was brilliant. I love Rogue One. I could watch Rogue One. I watched it again at Christmas. Fantastic film, Rogue One. And Mandalorian was great. I loved that. I don't lie. The end scene of the last series brought a tear to my eye. It was fantastic. I love Star Wars, but a bit like Manchester United and our players. If somebody's shit, I'll say it's shit, even though I love the club. You're critiquing something you love because you've got a level. And with Star Wars, I've got a level of where it should be. And if it falls below that, I'll moan. But if somebody hits the level, I will praise it till the cows come home, which is a weird saying. Lovely cross, come on! Oh, cleared by Trent. 15 minutes to go. I think, come on, Wolves. They deserve something out of this game. I haven't watched Revenge of the Sith for ages, but it only really gets good when Order 66 happens. Which for some reason I think Order 69. I think I've had a dream where instead of it being Order 66, it's Order 69, and I had a good time. So, Wolves coming forward again here. Liverpool basically playing with 2 banks of 4 at the moment. Harry Potter or Star Wars, Kellen? Star Wars for me. Republican credits will do fine. See, I nearly got it. I started it off okay, PMV Patrick, but then I became the Emperor. Republican credits will be fine. Rubbish. Even worse. Don't try. Stop it. Give up. Will you ever do a Burnley career mode, Matt? Yeah, but if I did a Burnley career mode, who's my nemesis? Like, my Newcastle career mode's great because we're not going to win the league in my first season in charge of Newcastle because it's too hard, but I did set a target at the start of the season to finish above Burnley, and they're about 10 points ahead of me. So I'm getting it hard from Dyche at the moment. But I'll be back. Do a Palpatine impression, says Red. Yeah, it's another one in the voice. And you've asked me to do it. Come on, Wolves. There we go. Wolves on the break. No. It's a Liverpool smash and grab. You can almost say this is parking the bus. $15 to go. I think on the balance of it, a draw would be a fair result. But as I said so many times, you don't necessarily get what you deserve. You've got to put the ball in the back of the net. Jar Jar Binks. Oh, I've deleted him from the Star Wars genre. What's your favourite Tarantino film, Mark? Says Liam White. Good question. Live comments, get involved. We've still got 13 minutes to go here. Liverpool are on the attack at the moment. Reservoir Dogs is the one that comes to mind, but the trouble I have with Tarantino films is I normally really enjoy the first 2/3, and then the final act it can go a bit dodgy. Like Django Unchained, I really liked it up until it went weird. Was it Dusk Till Dawn with George Clooney in it? I thought it was a really good film, and then they all became vampires, wasn't it? I quite like The Hateful Eight, Mane with a shot. quite liked The Hateful Eight. I'd need to watch it again. I just quite liked that. It's quite atmospheric. But I've only watched that once. I did like The Hateful Eight. And Pulp Fiction's very good, of course it is, yeah. I think Wolves are just out of ideas here. They're a very good team up to the final third. A bit like Tarantino. Header straight at the keeper there from the lad who's come on. Hi Mark, would you rather have Valverde and Rice or Pogba and Basuma? I don't really... You know what, Mr. Skills? I'll go with what I know. I'd go with Pogba and Basuma because I don't really know enough about Valverde. I know he's well rated, but I mean he's never played in the Premier League, and I think with Pogba and Basuma you know what you're getting from two players, whereas with Valverde and Rice, I do think Rice would be good, but Salah, acceleration, good shot, good save, and Mane picks it up. Inglourious Bastards is good. I enjoyed that, yeah. Mane. Liverpool looking... I did predict 2-0. There's a Wolves player gone down here. Salah. Jota. Shoots straight at Patricio. And they stop the play now. Goodfellas is not Tarantino, Killian. Well, he should get a yellow card there, Mane. I mean, Lamella got a yellow card for that yesterday. He's chucking his arms all over the place. He thinks he's at a disco. It's one rule for one team and another for another. Ten minutes to go. Any clubbing stories, Mark? Mate, I've got loads of clubbing stories. I mean, it'd be interesting to see when the world goes back to normal, how clubs get back to normal, what the youth do, really. Chamberlain's coming on here for the last 10 for Liverpool as they look to shut up shop. Hi, Mark. Could you shout out my mate Tom Wood for securing a permanent contract with O2? He owns his own postcode, but we love him. Love the content, says Card Pick Cravings. And have a bloody stretch, says Zach. Yeah, I mean, look, I think, most of you are probably of that sort of age group where you can't wait to get out and shake it all about and all that. You're young. And what do you think life's going to be like when you go back out? Do you think everyone will go back to old habits of, out and about clubbing? Or do you think cultures have changed now? People are happier to be... Well, you're not going to be happier to be on Zoom, are you, really? Liverpool here are looking like they might get the goal. Is Adama overrated because of his physique and pace? Well, he's not, says Mahalo. Adama Traore is not having the season he had last year, but let's not forget, for up until Christmas, he was pretty much not picking Adama Traore anyway for some reason. Yet last year, Adama Traore, I think he had the most assists in Europe for a winger, the best take-on percentage. So, he has dropped off this season, Adama Traore, but Nuno wasn't really picking him much as well. Huge win for Liverpool if they can get it. They had to win tonight to keep those top four hopes open. And people would say, what are you talking about, top four? Look at Liverpool's last few fixtures and you could see them going on a very good running streak. But then again, you watch them play Wolves today and it's not like it's vintage Liverpool, is it? You've got a chance against Liverpool. Just ask Brighton and Burnley. Do you think Jurgen Klopp has a funny head? Says Ryan O'Rourke. I've never really thought that. Are you going to do any watch-alongs for England? Says Reeds. Probably not in the international break. I'm not massively into England. I'll see. I don't know when England are playing, actually. Let's have a look. England fixtures. They're rubbish, though. They're rubbish. They're a waste of time. Have you seen who they're playing in the international break? They're playing San Marino a week on Thursday. Fucking hell. San Marino. Then they're playing Albania on the Sunday. And then they're playing Poland on the 31st, which is a Wednesday. I might watch them play Poland. I think that might be quite interesting. But San Marino and Albania, bloody hell. They're World Cup qualifiers, that's why. The England versus Colombia watch along was iconic. I'm a meme. That was my first big meme. Yes, get in. Kabak. Oh, good covering by Kabak there. He didn't have the pace. Mr. White up front. Can't see what his second barrel name is, but got no pace to get away. Well, Kabak is actually quite quick there. Do I think Netherlands can make it to the finals of the Euros? I mean, look, I go into international football. I don't really have much of a clue about who's good and who's not. But I would say France. Was given the foul. Time is running out. 5 minutes to go. I'd say France, Ryan Clark will win the Euros just because they've got the best squad, haven't they? Watch England lose to San Marino, mate. I remember England. I must have been really young. England. It was England didn't qualify for the '94 World Cup, and we messed it up. We were in Holland's group, and basically we needed to beat San Marino and Holland not to win, and we went 1-0 down to San Marino in like the first couple of minutes. We ended up winning about 6-1, but we were fucking hell. England were really good in Italia 90. They had a really good team. Lineker, Waddle, Gascoigne, of course. The defence was good. Des Walker. Salah. Game over. 2-0. Smooth as you like. Oh no, he's offside. I thought he'd scored. Yeah, he's just offside there. Just offside. Lovely finish by Salah though. You'll never beat Des Walker, says Dylan Howarth. Yeah. Patricio is down here. Yeah, but England had a really good team in Italia 90, as I was just saying. And in Euro 96, we had a really good team with Gascoigne was still there again. You had Alan Shearer, Sheringham. McManaman was really good in that tournament. So we had a really good... Paul Ince, very good team in 96, very good team in 90. Bobby Robson left in 90. And then we had Graham Taylor up until the 94 World Cup. And we were just shite. We were so bad. You had people like Carlton Palmer and Dennis Wise and Jeff Thomas. Who else played for us? Andy Sinton. Just people that never played for us again. And they'd never played for... They weren't part of the squad in 90 and they weren't part of the squad after 94. They just infiltrated that team for 4 years. It was shit. And we didn't qualify. We deservedly didn't qualify for the World Cup. And we were an embarrassment in the Euros in 92. We were just absolute shite for 4 years. Well, the Wolves goalkeeper looks quite badly hurt here. They're bringing a stretcher out. Patricio. They've not shown what happened, so I'm wondering if he got like a knee in the face off somebody in the aftermath of the Salah offside goal. Dylan says, I like your football manager mode more than your career mode. If you want to check out the football manager mode, it's on Twitch. Links in the video description. We'll be live again tomorrow night. I'm enjoying the football manager career mode as well. I am enjoying it, I've got to be honest. I'm not going to lie. I'm enjoying it as well, truth be told. Mount, Grealish, Maddison or Foden for England Cam, says Ryan Rourke. Well, let me know in the live comments. think probably Mount will get it, you know. Ruddy's coming on for Wolves. Go clubbing with me, Mark, says Dylan. I'll have to sort out a few get-togethers once everything's back to normal. So we're probably going to get about 7 minutes added on here. Would you do GeoGuessr? I've wrote it down. I've got to look into what it is. Sounds intriguing. The US is getting another golden generation, says Travis. What do you mean another? When was your first one? I must have missed that one. What's your favourite Christopher Nolan film, Mark? Says Ola. Probably would... I mean, I do like Inception, but probably would be one of the Batman films. I really like the first one. I really like Batman Begins. Thoughts on Rangers winning the Prem, says Hassan. Well deserved. They smashed it, didn't they? Are you watching the Cheltenham races this week, says Tyler? I'm doing a watch along for the Cheltenham races on Wednesday, so you can join me for that if you want. Ronaldo and Rice or Koundé and Sancho? Also, can you say hi to my dog Yogi, says Amazing Gamer. Ronaldo and Rice or Koundé and Sancho? Well, I'm going to go with the CDM. That's my priority position, so I'd go Ronaldo and Rice because I think the CDM, although United are not linked to anybody, I think they're the number one priority in my opinion. Memento is a good film, yeah. Eggs is good. I think I've seen Hacksaw Ridge, yeah. Is that the one where they keep going up the bridge? Can you shout out someone called HTPZ if not DW, says Chelsea Blues. And Josh Stennett, thanks for the super chat. Thanks everyone who's done the super chats today. Rafino. Yeah, I'd take Rafino, Morton. So, players have been a bit inactive here because they're dealing with this Patricio issue, which didn't look as serious as it was. He's added 7 minutes on. Mark, have you played CS or other FPS games? Says Red Devil no. Evening, Mark. Any thoughts on who should be the next Pompey manager? Says Benny. Got none. And Ollie says, how do you approach your mates' mums? Well, I think I know what you're talking about here, but if I approach my mates' mums now, most of them are probably in their 70s and 80s. That's just weird. And also, I'm married, so I wouldn't do it anyway. But yeah, we've all been at that age, haven't we? When are you planning a get-together in India? Not at the moment, Shrujan. Nothing against India, just can't plan anything because nobody's out of lockdown yet. Well, this is a long, long delay. I mean, literally, when it first happened, I didn't think much had happened because Cody was having an argument with the referee and there wasn't a load of people around him. But it's been down a long time now. There'll be more than 7 minutes because they've not even started yet. Wow. He stayed down without moving. Yeah, I saw that, but he was down without moving. But the referee and the Wolves player, were having a chat. I was like, he looks like he's not moving. No one's making much of a fuss. So maybe he was down talking, saying, I can't move my neck. Get someone to come on. I don't know. But it's a worry. Got to be at least 10 minutes, says Marvin AM. Well, I think it happened about 85 minutes, doesn't it? So you got 5 minutes of normal time and probably whatever there was going to be added on. Goalkeeper's injured, Bob, for Patricio. Patricio's injured, so he will be coming off. I spoke about Spurs, Reeds. We spoke about them twice, not going to talk about them again. Do you miss the pineapple, man? Says Chris. It's a shame, really, because I do like pineapple. How did he get injured? Well, they haven't shown us Mitch, which obviously it was must be quite a nasty one because they've not shown us the replay. I didn't see the replay. So, argument here is that if the red flags for offside straight away, this injury doesn't happen, says Cal Johnson. Yeah, but we've got that new rule, haven't we, Cal, where they play it on because so the reason they play these offsides on for a few seconds now is because there's been so many offsides that weren't offsides that if you play it on, then, you know, if it is onside, then you get the advantage. Tiago says the commentator said the player's knee hit him in the head. Ooh. And Curtis just confirms that as well. Henrik says, do you think all Wolves players look like Wolves? No. Bangers and mash will be a lovely cooking with Goldbridge. The trouble is we're moving through the seasons now. We're moving to spring and into summer. So these dinners that people maybe we would have done are... Have you ever been to Northern Ireland, Marks? This full court press. Yes, I have. Yes. This is now longer than the Jimenez one, says Charlie Martins. And it's one of those that the risk is swallowing the Tom, which is dangerous. Not saying that's what happened, but that's a risk with high impact, says Aidan. You can see the scar on Jimenez's side of his head, can't you? Tellez has got one as well, hasn't he? Right, I think we're back to go now, which is just bang on for 7 minutes. So we're going to get a good 15 minutes, I think. Definitely, well, probably 10 minutes, I think. Mark Lampard got a child, says Keman. What, his own? Hopefully it's his own. I rewound it, Mark. The Wolves defender tracking Salah wasn't looking, kept running and nut kicked, kneed him in the head. They showed him after not moving. And that's from Demon Plasma. And just while we've got a break in the game, please subscribe, bottom right hand corner, by the way. We're on the road to 340,000. Well, we're on the road to 350,000, but 340,000, we're about 150 away. So please subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. The next watch-along we're going to do is Chelsea versus Atletico Madrid on Wednesday night, when the Premier League's fourth-place team knock out the best team Spain's got to offer because the Premier League is way better than La Liga. So join me for that. I'm going to really enjoy that. And please do join me if you agree with me, because there's a lot of people who are going to be joining to try and, you know, get one up on me because they think they're salty. They're salty, really. Does anyone know where you can see the replay, says Ollie? Well, you could just rewind your TV. He was having a seizure on the floor, says Jack Robinson. Yeah, they're not showing camera footage over there now either. Here we go, look. Got that first catch of the day. Keizo says, La Liga is better than the Premier League, actually. La Liga is the best league in the world. It's not. Bet you're sat in your Barcelona kit, aren't you? in your bedroom in Norwich. Patricio's on the floor at the moment. Well, the thing is, what I saw is Patricio was lying on the floor, literally like he'd been KO'd. But there was no Wolves players around him at all. The referee and Cody were actually arguing about something, and he's on the floor, and it's like, doesn't look like Patricio's breathing. Hope he's okay, says Ryan O'Rourke. I think he's all right. I mean, I don't know. I've been at many emergency incidents. I don't think that looks like somebody's, in serious danger now. I think that's about a head injury, a neck injury, and you've got to be very careful about before you move them. They'll have all inflatables and padding around his whole body, because obviously a neck injury could spine all the way down. So that to me looks like it's just about there. There's not. I don't think it looks to me like there's urgency around him. But obviously, there'll be concerns about moving him, and it's second time this season for Wolves as well. And again, Wolves are a team that they just don't have that depth, do they? They don't have that depth. They lose Jimenez, and what have they got? But of course, we wish him all the best. So we've had 100 minutes, and they're saying +7. So we've got. I mean, this is where it gets stupid, because we've got no idea how long there's going to be played now. They need to. So I think we'll be playing until 122 minutes. Because there was about 5 minutes left when it happened, and then you've got 7 minutes at a time. Oh no, the 7 minutes was to do with the... I don't know. Maybe it'll go to 107 minutes then. I don't know. We've got no idea how long. Marvin says there should be 15 minutes. Well, there was 5 minutes left when it happened, and then you've probably got about 5 minutes added time, haven't you? So 10 minutes, I think. But Sky have messed up here, because they should be able to just figure it out roughly what we're going to get, because people will be watching that and say, well, we've already had 11 minutes. I think we've got about 10 minutes from now, so it'll go to about 111. Toad in the Hole's a banging dinner, Ewan. Absolutely love it. How did he get concussed? Salah was running through, scored, but it was offside, but Cody collected with his head, with his knee. Hi to Moody, says Michael Doran. Hi Moody. Man, this game is long. It's been look, Liverpool will be over the moon with this. A bit like United yesterday. You're just happy to get the 3 points at this time of the season in a game that, isn't an easy game on paper. And I think Wolves have been as good as Liverpool, but Wolves just don't have anything up front. Mark Ferran says there'll be 7 minutes from now. Okay. Your guess is as good as mine. I think we'll be going to about 110 minutes from. So I think we'll have about. Yeah, I think we've got about 8 minutes left, but we'll see. Cooking a Sunday roast doesn't really work, Richard, because there's so many aspects to it. Corner here for Liverpool. Who do you think is going to win the Champions League, says Ali. Get in the live comments. I think that... I think Man City, Bayern or PSG. If there are only 5 minutes left of the game, you can't add more than 5 minutes extra time. Game would have been done in 5 minutes, so how can you add 10, says Dylan. Right, Dylan. If there was only 5 minutes left of the game, you can't add more than 5 minutes extra time. So how would it have been done? You can add as much extra time as you bloody well like. Sometimes there's 6 minutes, so you could have 11 from this point. To be honest, Liverpool look more likely to score here. Salah's in. Oh, just wide. Pie Guy says we'll be playing till 108 minutes. Chelsea FC says, are you scared of Liverpool? What? Man United? Why? We're a long time ahead of them. Big Josh says, suffering with anxiety recently. It comes daily. I go to college and get anxious about things to come. I need to focus on the present, but it's hard to do. It is hard, Big Josh. You're right. Your mind runs away with you. I sometimes get it as well. What I try and do is just focus on something real and present. And that could be, it sounds stupid, but remember Mr. Miyagi from Karate Kid? Nothing in the whole world exists, only tree. And I think about a tree. And I do a deep breathe, and I think about the tree moving, and I think about what it looks like, and I think about the smell of the tree, and I think about the size of the tree, and it works. But it's hard. You've got to train your brain to do it, because your brain wants to go and think about what's going on at Tesco. Did I send that email? All sorts of things. It's hard. It is. Anxiety is a hard thing, Big Josh. I sympathise with you on that one. Cross comes in, straight to Alisson. No power on it at all. It's catching. It's like catching a balloon for Alisson, this is. Why don't you get any head power on it? Where's your neck muscles? Get down the gym. It's his shoulder, for fuck's sake. No wonder there was no power on it. It lands on his bloody shoulder. Shocking. Wolves. He wants a foul. He's not going to get it. And it's back with Alisson. The timer has died, hasn't it? It's gone way past. There's no point in taking any notice of the timer because we've got no idea how long's left anyway. Owain says the offside flag should have gone up earlier. It would have stopped the injury. Well, no, you can't say that, Owain, because the new rule is not to do that. Come on, you've got an overlap. Right, Wolves are going to get men in the box here. He's got to put the cross in. It's a decent cross, but it's well done by Captain Phillips. He's had a good game, He's had a good game for Wolves. There's Salah on the break. They like the break, and it's Mane. He's going to go for the corner, surely. Got Robertson on the overlap. Mane loses it. Silly by Mane, that. And now it's Adama Traore. It's past 2. Past 3. Oh my God. This could be on Mane if it doesn't work out. Cross to the back. Oh, he's fucked it up. He's messed it up. Get up, Traore. Ooh, spills it out. Fabinho get rid of it, Keita, and he does. They should have scored there. They should have scored there. It was a good run by Adama Traore. I think the ref's looking to blow the whistle now. Adama Traore, back post. Cody. Keeps it in. Cross comes in, back post. Goal kick. Oh, I tell you what, they should have scored there. I don't think Wolves could score. I mean, I just don't think they could score in a million years. Oh, the final whistle's gone. I don't think that, it didn't feel like enough time was actually played there. They only played about 7 minutes altogether. which was what they said they were going to play. But anyway, there was an injury to Patricio. Obviously, our thoughts are with him on that because it looked quite a nasty one. Hopefully, he'll be all right. But massive win for Liverpool. Puts them 5 points behind Chelsea. Keeps them in a race for top 4. I said 2-0. It was 1-0. Ultimately, if you watch the game, you'd probably think it should have been a draw. But Wolves weren't robbed, Benjamin. They can't score a goal. That's their problem. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching. Our next watch along is Chelsea on Wednesday night. Tune in for that when the Premier League knocks out La Liga before the quarterfinals. Looking forward to that. Mark, all season I've been saying how long until the linesman not flagging leads to an injury needs to be looked at, says Uber Melon. Thanks everyone for watching. Please subscribe, bottom right hand corner. Newcastle career mode's back tomorrow and Football Manager tomorrow night. I've dropped the Twitch link in the video description. There's also a video on the United stand. Thanks everyone for watching. Enjoyed the chat as ever. Stay safe and I'll speak to you soon.